Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Badfish and welcome back to another episode of Gone Gaming. We are of course back in the city of Mauna Key. If you're new to my channel, Mauna Key is my current city Skylines project. Pretty much just a tropical build, doing a lot of Hawaii inspiration, things like that. So welcome if you're new. Hope you stick around and enjoy the video. Anyway, today guys, what we're going to be doing is building out yet another ballpark. The last real big ballpark I did was in Acadia. I did like a major league ballpark and I really enjoyed that build. I really liked it. I am a big baseball fan if you're new to the channel. So I really enjoy putting parks, especially big ones like this. And I didn't even know that the campus DLC had a baseball park. I don't know if that's like a new addition or something, and I just missed it, but yeah, never knew that. So I actually really enjoy the model that comes with that DLC and works with it, and we're going to be utilizing that and doing some cool stuff around the park itself that I hope you guys enjoy. We do like a really cool backdrop for the ballpark and have a lot of cool things to do around here, and I think it's a really good addition to what is going to be our waterfront of the city that we've been working on for the past few episodes. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'll let you watch the build for a little bit. As always, I'll pop in when there's, cool details to talk about, or if I just feel like talking about something. So again, I hope you guys enjoy. If you're new and you do, definitely subscribe to stick around for more City Skylines content. And yeah, I really hope you guys all enjoy the build, and I will catch you in a little bit to talk through some of the stuff I do. Sweet. So as you saw with the ballpark model, it's more of like a college ballpark. It doesn't look as big as like a typical major league park. It doesn't look like there's a lot of room for like concourse sections and concession stands and things like that. So in my headcanon, my idea here is I wanted to kind of have a cool little like concession concourse area on the outside of the park, right here in this kind of jut out of the peninsula where the lighthouse is. I thought it was a good focal point, a good place to have a congregation area. Really enjoyed how it came out. And like I said before, I really miss that build that I did in Acadia. If you haven't checked that out, I did a ballpark in my Acadia series. The save game unfortunately bricked, so it is no longer working, so I can't go back and admire my work on that one, except of course in the video, which you can still check out in the Acadia playlist on my channel. Anyway, long story short, I liked that build a lot. I wanted to recreate it in some capacity here in Mauna Key and do it in a more, tropical Mauna Key flavor. So we're going to be doing the ballpark and having like a cool seaside amusement park right on this peninsula here. I think it all came out really together. It's nothing too complicated. It's not going to be the world's greatest amusement park, but that's not really the point. It's kind of supposed to go together with the ballpark as one sort of event. So it's all tied together. And I think when it's all said and done, it comes out really nicely. So I'm going to let you guys kind of enjoy watching me set up the layout of the park itself. And then once we start getting into more of the detailing and stuff that I do on this, I will, of course, jump in and let you know kind of my thought process behind things. So hope you guys enjoy kind of the theme I decided to go with here. I feel like amusement parks and ballparks go together. Maybe it's just me, but I enjoy it. So. So as you can see, just based off of where I'm putting this park, there's a lot of like weird nooks and crannies to fill in. So I kind of took the approach of just throw props at it at this point and see what I can figure out. So basically when I do that, it's going to be a lot of seating areas, a lot of themed props. So like right now you're seeing me put down arcade games and some of the vanilla props that come with the I think it's the Park Life DLC, and just kind of using other things like the planters that I always use just to kind of edge things out and give it more delineation and hedges, etc. So yeah, in these kind of like weird parts where I couldn't really fit a building or like a major prop, and what I mean by a major prop is, you know, something like that lighthouse where it's not technically a building, but it's a giant prop. So where I couldn't fit things like those, you know, this is generally what I like to do, just put in some seating areas, put in places for people to hang out, put in little accoutrement, if you will, of the, you know, just on theme props and things like that. So a lot of the arcade games and like the popcorn cart, and there's like a pretzel stand that I use, are all things I found on the workshop. And I was just trying to think like, what the heck would I find around a baseball field or around a amusement park? And that's what I came up with. So that's kind of just a little insight into my thought process there with filling in these nooks and crannies and things like that. There's going to be a couple more, especially around this Ferris wheel. As you can see right behind it, there's kind of this awkward patch that I'll fill in. And then over here by this pirate ship as well. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight into how I'm thinking about propping this. I hope that's helpful. If it's not, I'm sorry, I guess. Yeah, so just kind of insight into what I'm looking for when I go ahead and do these props. And now you're going to see me do a bunch of landscaping around the park. So enjoy the trees. So I think this next stretch of detailing is by far my favorite part of this video and this build. I've started, you know, doing my builds in multiple sessions. Before, when I first started the channel, I kind of get the build done in one like mega session. Now it's more spaced out, and I find that there's one session, right? One session that always goes better than the other ones. So this was that session for me. I felt like I got some cool ideas and some cool details to pop in with, starting with these like picnic huts here. I got them off of a collection. If you search collections on the workshop and look up Fairground, it's the first one that pops up, and these guys are in it. These are a lot of the props that I used again for that Acadia build as well, but I did not use these as far as I remember, and I really enjoyed them for this kind of food concourse area. I thought they fit that theme very well, and you'll see I'll kind of put some tables around them and inside them to kind of flesh out the eating area for everybody. And I'm just putting more palm trees down because for some reason when I log out and log back into my game, I don't know if like Prop Anarchy stops working for me, but it deletes some of my trees sometimes, so that's fun. But anyway, we're kind of using these tiles here just to delineate the walkway a little bit more. Of course, the end of the road is round, so I'm gonna have that awkward little bit of you know, asphalt right there, but you know, it is what it is. It's still a video game, right? So I'll deal with it, and we're gonna kind of just do another little seating congregation area, food kind of concession area for everybody, and then from there we'll jump into some more details kind of around the park. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that as well as far as detailing goes, because I think the biggest problem, right, that I had with detailing before I started this channel was Dedication, I guess, would be the answer. Basically, like, I'd start something and I'd give up halfway through because I thought it didn't look good, or I thought, the build wasn't going anywhere. And I cannot tell you the number of builds I've had since starting this channel that, like, halfway through, I'm like, this shouldn't be an episode. This is going to be rough. And then, I take a couple of days off and come back to it. Whatever have you. Even if I take a couple days off, come back to it, still sucks. And then I take a couple more days off and then I figure it out. That's kind of what I've realized is not every session's gonna hit, right? Like, you're gonna have some bad ones, but if you persevere through them, you're gonna kind of find that gold nugget at the end. And really, with any kind of art, and I do consider detailing in City Skylines at a certain point art, because you're using a lot of different elements to kind of make something. But with any kind of art, whether it be drawing or painting, sometimes like detail and just like working through it is half the battle. Like, it's not even the concept, it's just like pushing yourself through those initial phases of suck to get to the end where something looks cool. So there's a little bit of philosophizing from Bad Fish for you. I'm gonna shut up now and let you guys enjoy the music and the build. I'll come back in a little while. So, quick side note before I start talking more about what I'm doing with detailing. If anyone's noticing that I always type male in when I get my people props, I promise you I'm not sexist. I am using female people props as well. It's just when you type in male, it brings up both the male and female props. So, just wanted to let you know. Anyway, moving on to the detailing here. Just kind of, again, weird angles with this build, right? Like, a lot of weird places to fit things in. So I decided to put trees down because they fit anywhere. You can put them down and fit them around anything. So we're keeping some of that natural growth pattern in here. They didn't clean the whole area up for the park, just some of it. They got room to expand later on should they decide to. But yeah, you've seen me just using a lot of kind of like, the planters and things, as I always do, to delineate the space a little bit more. I think it really helps with making it look really uniform. But I do like having these wild growth patches into, especially near the ocean where, some of these trees and stuff might have been growing before. Maybe they kept some of that natural area around as well, even though there's a giant concrete wall now between them and the sea. We're not going to talk about that. But now just kind of doing, again, more decorative, kind of put together landscaping. If you saw a little bit ago, I tried to use one of these light sculptures that I used before. I really wanted to make it work in this park, so I shoehorned it in over here in this little grass patch in just a second. I think it came out pretty good. It's like this wonky red tunnel. You'll see it right now. I'm pulling it up. So I just wanted it in there. I thought it adds some cool color and light, especially at nighttime when it lights up. I think it adds a little bit to the walkway and all that. And just putting down, again, more of the curbs and things like that. And I didn't really want to do any detailing around the roller coaster itself. I thought it was fine. And then the last kind of bit of detailing that we're gonna do on these little park areas here. I didn't really know what to do with this pirate ship, but I had some fun with it. I have my worker props that I primarily only use in industrial builds, but I was like, hey, remember those maintenance guys from like theme park back in the day with their yellow jackets and their hard hats? I want a couple of those. I want a broken down ride, even if it's going to be offerable in terms of the game. So I had some workers come out, and then I used this oil slick right here that I usually use in like auto shops and things like that, just to make it look like maybe the ride is busted up and, you know, these guys are over here repairing it. It's kind of funny to look at while it's still swinging in motion and people are riding it. They're like frantically trying to fix it. I don't know what that says about my sense of humor, but we're gonna move on from that. Last little bit of seating area, food concourse area right here. Pop in a couple hedges, make it look pretty. And then the last couple of things you're gonna see me do here is just some landscaping and things like that, and then we'll jump into the live play in just a second, guys. But I really hope you enjoyed the build. If you stuck around this long, I sure hope you did. Otherwise, I'm sorry. But if you did, please leave that like down below. I'd really appreciate that. Like I said before, it helps me get out to more people. If you're new, definitely hit that subscribe button. But I will see you guys in the live play. Enjoy the last bits of the build. Hey everybody, and welcome to the live play section for today's build. I hope you guys all enjoyed that time lapse in the video so far. If you did, definitely leave that like down below, and if you're new and have been enjoying it, certainly subscribe. But here we are, the baseball park in our city yet to be named. I know I said I'd name it by this episode, but I kind of forgot. So anyway, here's our baseball park. I am using the base college arena from the colleges DLC, the university DLC, something like that. Campus, there it is. Anyway, we're using that, and I obviously doctored it up all around it. I probably said this in the live play. I'm recording this part first, but I really wanted to kind of somewhat recreate part of the build that I did in Acadia, where I did a ballpark and a fairground. Obviously, since that saved game got bricked, I don't have that anymore, so I thought it would be fun to put it into Mauna Key, and I think we made it look pretty great. It's got a cool vibe to it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So for the ballpark itself, we'll just go over that real quick. It's pretty much just the base asset. I didn't really do anything to it at all. So it's just doing what it does. I am gonna lower graphics just a little bit, just so we get some better frame rate. So anyway, the ballpark, we didn't really do much. We just added the trees and these big stadium lights, so at nighttime it looks real nice. We'll come back through at night so you guys can see those lights, but you can see the light towers right here and right here. I think they just, you know, add to the aspect of this being like either a college or a professional ballpark. You want to have the lighting there. I didn't like that the base asset didn't really have it. Going around everything, you're gonna notice, you know, what I do a lot is putting the curbs down and putting down the trees and stuff, just to delineate everything in and kind of tie the whole area together. So like, I think this whole area looks like, you know, its own space. It's really tied together with, obviously it's a ballpark on a peninsula, it's gonna happen, but I think the curbs help. We have this super cool roller coaster going around. Look at him go. Boom. I'm using mixtures of just base props from the park pack and some things I got off the workshop, like this tower over here, this drop tower I got off the workshop. So just trying to kind of have that fairground feel. It's just something that's extended to the ballpark. It's not like its own standalone amusement park, so it's not going to have like crazy rides or anything like that. We got one roller coaster, a drop tower, a Ferris wheel. Like, we got some things to do, right? But it's not a full amusement park. And kind of dotted throughout the park, you're going to notice I put little details like, you know, this little guy. We have these people like waiting in line for food over here. That cart is floating. Let's fix that. I don't like having floating popcorn. Let me touch the popcorn. I'm not about that. So let's pop you down. I think he's fine. Anyway, moving on. So we got those little details. We got like little games, and this is a bathroom. Over here is like our main food area for the ballpark. So we have a bunch of the food trucks that I use a lot, different food vendors I picked up, tables, props, people that I just scattered around to make it look a little more busy. I did put these spotlights here as well that you'll see when we turn it to nighttime, just so it has a little more light. And we got, of course, the lighthouse here. I just thought this was super cool as far as like the batter's eye of the ballpark. Like in the batter's eye, you're gonna have this cool Ferris wheel over here in right field, and then, you know, the big blank slate of the lighthouse. It might be a little distracting for batters, but I thought it looked cool. So moving on, we have like all of these little picnic tables and these little picnic sheds and just a bunch of different landscaping and stuff like that. So that's that little area right there. Of course, we have the Ferris wheel just with some games and popcorn and things behind it, just for, you know, little cheap and easy detail with the hedges and the benches and stuff. So just places for people to sit and, you know, watch their kids go on the Ferris wheel, what have you. Same thing, just more seating. Going back over here, we have this pirate ship ride that is functioning, but I thought just for a fun little prop, I put this little work crew down with like this oil slick right here. So, you know, in my head, they're working on maintaining this ride, but maybe, you know, that much oil leaking is not that bad, so people can ride on it. I don't know. And then just another little food seating area. And of course, we have our parking lots over here. I didn't really know what to do with this area. Originally, I was going to put trees and stuff, but then it just like blocked too much of the view. So we ended up just going with blank grass, and I think it looks fine. And we're getting people using the ballpark and coming in to the arena, which is cool. And yeah, that is pretty much today's build, guys. Oh, we are getting some traffic over here. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. Really, I think it came out nice. I think it's a cool little peninsula for you know, having the ballpark on. I might wrap around these keys eventually and kind of make like a whole waterfront leading up to this, just to make it make a little more sense. But let's also get the light not looking awful. But I think it looks, you know, pretty great. All the stuff behind it is pretty much subject to change. I just kind of, you know, threw down some buildings, so in screenshots and stuff, it at least had like a semblance of a skyline behind it. But not gonna lie to you, a lot of this is gonna change behind it. But yeah, I think eventually wrapping around over into here would be cool. And oh right, we'll go into nighttime real quick, just so you guys can see what everything looks like in the DAC. And I think it came out pretty good. I think it looks nice. It's pretty well lit. You know, you got the little path lights for the parks and stuff. I wish these lit up a little bit more. This one's pretty good, but like I have another Ferris wheel I could swap this out for that lights up all the way, but for now that's great. So yeah, it lights up pretty nice. You know, we got the baseball field really well lit up, which I really like. So I think it stands out. You know, I think it stands out in relation to the city that we've already built out, and I think it will continue to do so. But that is today's build, guys. So again, if you enjoyed it, leave that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate that. Trying to get to that 1,000, that vaunted 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you could help me out there, I'd really appreciate that. But guys, I'm gonna leave you some cinematic shots of today's build, so I really hope you enjoy those, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.